Hi, everyone. Welcome back to another episode of Ask a Care Manager. My name is Ryan Abramski. I am the Business Development Director, and I'm joined with Teresa Jackson, our Director of Care Management. The both of us work for EasyLiving. We're a home care and care management agency serving the Tampa Bay area for over 20 years. The Ask a Care Manager videos are brought to you by our friends over at the Senior Living Resource Magazine and their website, SeniorLivingGuide.com. They're your one-stop local and statewide resource for all things senior housing and health. Anything from home care like Easy Living to assisted living facilities to memory care to senior health and care management services, again, like Easy Living. Check out Senior Living Resource Magazine and their website, SeniorLivingGuide.com. And I've been told the new issue is out, so it'll be coming out this week. So pick that up today and visit their website now to get all of your senior information. And Teresa, thank you so much for joining us yet again. I appreciate the time. So, big news this week. I think this is actually probably national news at this point, but Governor DeSantis signed an emergency order this week for the safe and limited reopening of our senior care facilities. I know this was a massive push. I think really spearheaded by Mary Daniel, who we had the pleasure to interview and tell her story. But I know she kind of spearheaded, and I know she was on Governor DeSantis's recommendation board. And with a tearful speech and a signature, Governor DeSantis has now allowed our senior care facilities to have safe and limited visitation there. So what do you think about that? And what about some information here that you guys know as far as care management to help some of our families out?
This is great news. And, I think we just need to reiterate that every facility is going to be different. Mm-hmm. So, and there's definite rules that you need to follow. And I know that you're going to be posting where our viewers can find the specific rules and regulations to this order. But there's a couple of different categories. So you have the essential caregiver that can now go in and visit, and this is someone that's providing care to their loved one. Like in Mary Daniel's situation, she was going in and helping her husband get dressed for bed every evening. I'm familiar with a lady that goes in and where she used to, and hopefully she'll be able to continue now to go. She used to go in almost every meal, but at least daily, and help her husband eat because he had vision impairments, including cognitive issues. So she would go in and make sure that he got the meal that he needed. The facilities are there, and if she wasn't able to make it, of course they're going to help him. But this is her spouse that she's caring for, and she wanted to continue to do that. So hopefully she'll be able to get back in to assist care manager.
Like Mary's case too, where she was, she was for months. When he moved in, she was there every night to make sure he was fed and in bed. And it was just, not to say the facility wouldn't do that, but it was just one less of their residents that they had to worry about, and they could care. Divide that time up to the other residents there. So I know that helps the facilities out too.
Exactly. And the human touch and the whole isolation of not being around that loved one. How often did we hear during this time, I'm afraid when I go back in, he's not going to remember me. Mm-hmm. And when you're looking at a progressive dementia, that can happen. That's real. So then you have the essential caregiver, and I believe a resident can have 2 essential caregivers, and you have to make appointments. You have to let the facility know. You have to follow the guidelines that they have put in place. But then they also have a compassionate caregiver, compassionate visits, and this can be if someone is in the process of passing away. Or it's not just that. Also, it could be that the resident is actually experiencing another loss. Maybe they've had a child pass away, or maybe they've had difficulty transitioning into this community, the facility, and they just need that additional compassion visit to get them through this process. So it's not just when someone's dying is this visit allowed. So, a major upset, difficult transition or loss, that's the definition of the compassionate visit. And then we are also, and I believe, and again, you'll be providing the links to the actual rules and regs, but I do believe they also have another category is just regular visitations, and that is more strict because a facility or community has to be have no reported new cases of COVID-19 for the previous 14 days before they allow visitations that are not considered essential or compassionate, just your regular visitations. So, but it is very exciting, and oh my gosh, the work and the effort that Mary Daniels put into this was just phenomenal. And thanks to the governor for finally sitting down and listening, and Mary Mayhew, who is the secretary of the Agency for Healthcare and Administration, for listening to Mary.
Absolutely, and I think it's an important step, for these families and for these facilities to, allow them to be able to see each other, and especially at an end of life or even a transition. We hear all the time about transition into a new building. Transitions, and I'm sure as a care manager, can speak to how difficult a transition can be, whether it's to another home, to another senior facility. I mean, whatever the case may be, transitions for the elderly can be very, very difficult.
Exactly, especially if they're going through a cognitive decline. And now we've got, so this is Florida. Each state is working on their own regulations regarding visitations. But if you are a family member out of town, out of state, and you don't have the ability, now that we have this new option, to come in, to check on mom or dad or your loved one, that's what we are here for, care managers, aging life care managers, being your eyes and ears and your voice to advocate for what's going on. I mean, going in and being able to see up close and personal, is oral hygiene being done? Or is nail care, is, both your hands and your feet, is that being taken care of? I mean, being able to provide that service for families who are out of state, that's what we're here for, and that's what we love to do, being able to be that, provide that service and be that advocate for your loved ones that you can't be here for.
Absolutely. And I know, like I said, it's almost like when a 16-year-old gets their driver's license. It's exciting, but it's also very nerve-wracking too. And I think, we want to make sure that this is done safely. I know the facilities want to be done safely. I know that was a big thing that Governor DeSantis promoted during his speech about making sure this is safe, because, we obviously don't want to bring COVID into a building, and we don't want to, make it, more of a threat to those individuals inside those buildings. So, but at the same time, I know these families are just very, very excited to start getting the chance to go see their loved ones face to face. Exactly.
And another thing that's going to be available, which has been put on hold, is going to outside doctors. So not always does the facility doctor, that's usually just a primary, and it may be that your aunt is in a community and she continues to see her outside doctor that she's had for 20 years. And, those visits have been postponed due to COVID-19. So if that, again, is where a care manager can come in handy, we're able to facilitate those appointments, assist with them. If we're not providing transportation, we're making sure transportation is being arranged. But meeting the client at the appointment and being there to make sure that, one, the physician knows what's going on, because a lot of times the client still sits there and goes, no, I'm fine. Everything's fine. And then communicating that to the other healthcare providers, communicating that to the family members to make sure that everybody is on the same page with what's going on with their loved one. So that's another way that an aging life care manager could be an asset.
Absolutely. Well, we're going to post the direct link to the emergency order that Governor DeSantis released. We'll put it down in the information section by the comments. So if you need to access that to verify what the stipulations and the protocols are. But as Teresa mentioned before, always reach out to your loved one's facility and speak with them, because each facility might have a little bit different of protocols that they have in place for their building. So just check with them, and they're always wonderful, and they'll be glad to make sure that you get the chance to see your loved one. But just always check with them first.
And if I may say too, please be patient. This is a time where everyone needs to be patient, because think about it. Everybody wants to go today to see mom or dad. Mm-hmm. They have to schedule appointments. They have to make sure that the visit may need to be monitored, just to make sure that the visitor is wearing the appropriate PPE, social distancing, whatever rules that still need to be followed. They may require that you be tested before going in to verify. We're still working through some of the nuances of what's going on. So I just ask everybody be patient. I know the facilities are excited and to have family members back in the buildings, but we all just need to be patient with getting there.
Absolutely. Well, Teresa, thank you so much again. And, thank you for the wonderful insight. And, I didn't even think about that, but yeah, definitely be patient with these facilities as they adjust, and they're in a transition period too, to make sure, because we'd rather them take their time and do things the right way than rush and then cause a bigger issue that could put people's lives at stake. So, and
then everything being shut down again. We don't want to have to go through this again.
Exactly. Well, again, thank you so much, Teresa, for joining us. Thank you, everyone else out there, for joining us. We'll put all the information below. If you have any questions or comments, please post them in the comments section. Send us a message on Facebook, or you can always visit our website and send us a message through there too. Again, thank you for joining us. We hope to see everyone next week.